Is Jimmy Garoppolo evolution as a quarterback real? We've seen arguably the best football from Jimmy Garoppolo these past 3, 4 weeks. He's been playing lights out, amazing. He's averaging around 230, 240 yards per game these past 3 games. A QB rating of 131, zero interceptions, and I do believe a couple of sacks. Those numbers, I mean, you are talking about probably a top-notch quarterback in the NFL if you have these type of numbers. Besides, you're averaging, I think that he has 6 touchdowns the past 3 games, so he's averaging 2 touchdowns per game. Amazing. But in not only is talking about the numbers, because you can see that the quarterback has the same approach, but for who knows what, suddenly your numbers start increasing. Probably the receivers that are dropping less passes, you are facing defense that is favorable for you. It can be a thousand of things, right? But we've seen a real evolution in the game in Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's start from the progressions. In this Cardinals game in Mexico City, you can clearly see how Jimmy Garoppolo goes through his progressions. But not only that, in 2 occasions, it was a touchdown situation. And he completed those passes. He went to his progressions. He saw first option, second option, third option, and in one of the plays, I do believe that it was the touchdown to Brandon Ayuk, the first one. You can see that he goes first, second, third. He doesn't like. He's still hanging in the pocket. He goes back to his third progression that it was Brandon Ayuk, and he threw the ball. It's not only going through his progression, he's seeing the field better. He's not panicking in the pocket. Talking about the pocket, he start climbing the pocket. There has been 2 plays that they have been amazing for Jimmy Garoppolo. In this past game, the first touchdown to George Kittle, he climbed the pocket, he started moving his legs. Okay, by the way, the pass is questionable, okay? You could do better throwing the ball. But I mean, touchdown is a touchdown. So let's say that it was not the best pass, but with the best outcome. He started climbing the pocket. One of the main characteristics for very good quarterbacks is that they know to climb the pocket. He started making plays with his legs. The pass to Ray McLeod, the previous game, the pass to George Kittle. I mean, he's been moving around. He's making plays with his legs that probably we can say that at the beginning of his career, he was a little bit mobile quarterback. Then comes to San Francisco, and he got that very bad injury, the ACL injury, and he didn't move well for a couple of years, several years since the injury. Now we start seeing that mobility that at the beginning of his career he had. He started making plays with his legs. amazing, incredible. No interceptions. I mean, I know this sounds crazy. He's now, I do believe, with 4 interceptions in the year. And you are talking that we are going to week 12 with only 4 interceptions for Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, in we saw several passes drop by the secondary. Talking about that those they should be an intercepted passes from Jimmy Garoppolo, a couple with Jalen Ramsey. So he's been lucky, but he's been lucky and he's been good. 0 interceptions. Now, in this game, it was not that obvious, but deep throws, stretching down the field. We never saw that part of Jimmy Garoppolo, and in this season, it's been a factor. Again, another part of the evolution of the game of Jimmy Garoppolo. It's been outstanding. And at least for me, one of the most important, we always knew or we always put this label on Jimmy Garoppolo that he can only throw between the numbers. And that was his only game. He didn't have the arm, he didn't have the vision of throwing to the sidelines, down the field, outside the numbers, even outside the hatch marks. Well, suddenly we are seeing this Jimmy Garoppolo throwing to the sidelines, and not only throwing to the sidelines, but very accurately throwing to the sidelines. We've seen a better seep, a better arm strength from Jimmy Garoppolo these past games. So another part that we can say that is evolving, still evolving as a player. That is a very good sign. And we can speculate about what are the why so far it's been this late blooming, or why until now he's evolving in this more than functional manager quarterback. It can be many reasons, but the fact that uh, we have a new quarterback coach in Brian Greasy, and a lot of people, including myself, we were very skeptical of why they brought Brian Greasy. He's never been a coach. He's I mean, working for the television, and I mean, the beginning it was kind of I don't know, bad situation for the 49ers, especially that you have a rookie quarterback that is going to be your starter. I don't know. It feel, I mean, a little bit odd at the moment. Then you understand the connection between Brian Greasy, the Shanahans, Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, how he was a very cerebral quarterback and very experienced quarterback, so on and so forth. Then they start making a little bit more sense. But now, I don't know if this has a lot or not to do with the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo is evolving as a player. It might be that this is a blueprint that Brian Greasy created and is continued, I mean, implemented in Jimmy Garoppolo. But if he can do this job with Jimmy Garoppolo, I hope that he can replicate some of the success with Trey Lance. I mean, for real. Another part, the play calling. And many we criticize Kyle Shanahan because he become this French mellow vanilla type of play caller. I mean, no imagination. There was, I mean, the offense was struggling to say the least. And at least in my point of view, Kyle Shanahan, it seems like he simplified the offense to make it easier for Jimmy Garoppolo. Probably it was a different offense that it was designed for. Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, he didn't knew the offense because he was not part of the offseason for the 49ers. He was supposed not to be with the 49ers. So probably Kyle Shanahan needed to simplify this offense, take out the load of the shoulders of Jimmy Garoppolo, throwing a ton of passes per game, and make it more easy. So it might be that this simplified version of the offense helped Jimmy Garoppolo, and now Kyle Shanahan can continue adding and adding more plays to this new offense for this year. It might be that is the motivation and the fact that, like I said before, Jimmy Garoppolo is playing for his contract, either with the 49ers or another team. Most likely, he's going to get a lot of money in the next contract. If he continue playing like these 3 games the rest of the season, guarantee you that he will get a big fat contract in the offseason. I don't think that is coming from the 49ers. We don't have the money. We don't have, I mean, the place for Jimmy Garoppolo if Trey Lance comes back. Pretty sure that another team, they will pay a lot of money for Jimmy Garoppolo. So that is some facts talking about the evolution of game of Jimmy Garoppolo. Let me know what you think, and like always, see you in the next one.